Hi friends, and welcome back. This is Love to Inspired Handmade with Christina. Today is June 26th of 2026, and I'm going to show you using the sunflower embossing folder to kind of give a fun depth card. I've shared stuff like this before. You can see where we're going to do some blending, but we're going to add layers with the embossing paper. I love this. I'm going to show you a paper version. See the sunflower? This is one of a gorgeous one to have in your stash. It is just real pretty. There's a lot of fun things you can do with it. And I hope that you enjoy this and are inspired to do something fun and different as you go along and you create. So I'm going to turn the camera down. I'm going to be using let me put my glasses on so I can see. Okay, I'm going to get a little closer for you. That way you have a close-up visual of what's going on. So you can see here, I embossed this one, which was with the early espresso, and then I embossed this one as well with it's very vanilla cardstock. I ended up using my blending brushes, so every time that you do it, it may turn out a little bit different, which I absolutely love. And then, you know, making it fun for the inside as well, birthday wishes. One of the things too, if you want to do your envelopes to match, you can emboss a piece and then just cut around the lid of the envelope, and then that way when they open it, they have a fun thing that coordinates really well with it. So I've got my standard cardstock going on here, so I'm going to go ahead and get it, and I'm going to fold this in half. Let me get in the visual of where you're at. So first I'm going to attach this piece, and this one is going to go on flat, so I'm not doing anything extra out of the ordinary with it. And yes, I know a lot of it's going to be covered up, but you know, it's one of those that it's still giving the visual of what's going on. Isn't that just a gorgeous embossing folder to have? This one has been around for some time, so if you haven't got it, you might want to grab it soon because it may be going away very quickly. So I want to show you two things. When I was playing with this, I first done it to where I blended on my paper before I ever ran it through the embossing machine. And you can see that it's still pretty and it gives these colors, but it doesn't give the different texture that I was looking for. So the next time I did it, I ended up embossing it and then I colored it. So I did this right here. I sent it through the embossing machine, and then I went, because you can see how some of the colors got highlighted just a little bit more in depth. You can go back and do the same thing with this one, and it'll just, you know, double layer your color. But I just like the extra work that it was doing. I guess I can put it that way, and you can see the flowers right side up. So there you have it. That's how I was playing with them. I ended up not really loving that color combo, so I went back to an oldie but goodie, and I'm using early espresso ink, and then I'm also going to be using, I'm going to slide this, hang on, knock my camera down, wouldn't that be terrible? I'm going to slide this down a little bit. There we go. So that way we're kind of in the same shot view. And then I'm going to take my lemon lolly ink, and I'm going to be using it as well. So let's just put those two here. Now I'm going to take my blending brush. I've actually have two different ones. I got the big one and the small one. I don't know if you prefer one over the other, or if you've even tried these before. I absolutely love them. The best thing is, and you don't have to keep it to one color per se. I do try to do that a lot of times, but you can also just wash it with some soap, and then it cleans the ink out, and then you're ready to use it on a different color if you would like. So you have that option as well. So I'm going to roll my blending brush in the ink, get it good and inked up. If you haven't played with them, start on your grid paper a little bit and then work your way in. So I'm going to just do this real lightly all around, just different random places. Because again, I want it to, and another thing too, if you haven't used them, with a blending brush, you feel like you want to press down hard, but you don't necessarily have to. If you just kind of give it a light swirl, it does everything that you need it to. So I like to come in from the paper onto the cardstock, just like so. Now you can come back and add a little bit. Sometimes I like to go back and forth, especially with those little edges there, because it kind of picks up that ink onto the ridges a little bit, if you can see that working. So then do the same thing with some early espresso. No, I'm not as coordinated with my little, yeah, no, it ain't working too, I mean, it's working pretty good. For me, I like the bigger ones. I don't know, if you've used the blending brushes, what is your favorite? Do you like the bigger ones? Do you work better with the small? I feel like I like just, I guess the bigger ones are a little bit heavier, and so I enjoy, I work, I think, better with them. So, trying not to get too carried away here with my coloring. Going in a circular motion helps you not blob up so much of your pieces either, so that's a fun tidbit of a thing. Now before I finish doing that, I want to just take that and kind of go over my little edges a little bit, just to kind of give it, break it up. All right, the next thing I want to do to give it that fun, oh my goodness, that may be more than I wanted. See? Okay, we're gonna roll with it. It's fine, right? There's really no wrong way to do it. I just don't want it to. All right, there. So now I want to get my scissors, and I'm going to distress the edges of my paper. Now, a fun thing here I have learned, once it has been embossed, it's going to be a little, it's going to shred or tear, and you got to be kind of gentle with that. I do like having the distressed tear edges. That is something to me that it gives just an extra little bit of depth, texture. It's just all the things for me. And so when it comes to shredding the edges of my cards, I love it. I don't know if do you like that clean edge, or do you like to mix it up sometimes? Also, share with me, what would be a color combo that you would use on this? I think we got Lemon Lolly and Early Espresso that I'm using, but I think you could use a Pumpkin Pie, would be really pretty with it, and with a soft lemon yellow or Lemon Lolly. So you see how it's kind of just giving that a distress? Just kind of keeping it simple, but it gives. Now again, you kind of have to do it lightly, because now that I've ran it through, my paper is already softened up quite a bit. To add a little bit of extra, you could just go ahead and take your darker color, where I'm going to use this Early Espresso, and just lightly go around the edges, just like so. Just to give a little bit of hint there, because it will give the contrast out, I think, that we need. Next, I want to take my linen thread. This stuff is like uber favorite. I love it. So whichever side that you decide to pick for your bottom, go ahead and wrap it around the card here. I'm going to do a crisscross over here. get it up underneath here. Maybe that'll, the other one was two, I had just enough for, or the other one had 3 wraparounds, but this one has enough for 2, so we're gonna go with it. Pull it a little bit tight because it will fall down flat. I maybe barely have enough. Oh dear. Okay, that works. Look. And then I just kind of pull it around to one of my other sides. I also, when I put this down, I use some tear tape to hold it in place. That way it ain't going nowhere. It might move a little bit, but overall it's gonna stay put. Give you a few little dimensions. I did lay the other one flat, but this one needs help. I think it just brings it all together. Make it alive. It's so fun though. It's quick and simple, but it's definitely a beautiful card. I was thinking this one made for a great happy birthday card. So that's what we're going with. So add this down just like so. And you can kind of see, I like that. I'm gonna rough up my little edges a little bit there. Make sure that you can see that little tornness. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. Okay, now just put whatever sentiment you would like. I'm pulling from a couple of different places on this one. I have my little tag that's from my scallops tag. This is actually the happy birthday from the Scallop Blooms. Oh, here, I'm knocking everything over. From the Scallop Blooms bundle. But I'm only going to be stamping the happy. So if you haven't, I'm going to just kind of look and line it up and only stamp that top half. You can also tape it off. It's easy to use if you got a Post-it note or some washi tape or something, and then that way you have the perfect little. And I didn't, you can, I'm just tucking it underneath my little sayings here because it gives the idea that it is attached, but it is not. Let me give it a little bit of glue. And then for the inside, I ended up using, for that stamped image here, this one, I pulled from the Words and Wishes set. So let's open that up. And we're going to stamp it right down here at the bottom. I'm going to move this so that you can see all the things here. So I'm just going to stamp it in Early Espresso. And then I'm going to take, again, this is from the Words and Wishes bundle, and I'm going to put, I hope I gave myself enough room. Barely enough room. And then all you do is just color that in as desired. I pulled from the Lemon Lolly just to kind of give a hint of the same color from the front. And then I wanted the cake itself to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to color in the cake itself with some Daffodil Delight. This is the darker color. Because how fun would it be to have a yellow cake to match your sunflower front? Obviously, you can do this any color you want. Then I did the plate with pecan pie because I stamped it in the Early Espresso, but I needed it to be just enough of a lighter color that you've seen the contrast of it without it just completely turning it dark, because that ain't no fun either. And then that was it, you guys. So I hope that you had fun watching this one today. It's quick, it's simple, it's a great way to let someone see some fun techniques that you're using. And yeah, Y'all be blessed. Have a great weekend, and I will be back next week to show you something new and fun. And it's July 3rd. Oh my gosh, what a huge celebration we have. 250th anniversary of America.